What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loot Bros podcast. I am your host, Resident Daryl, and today I've got something very special for you. This is the long-awaited Apollyon 20XX Live Not by Lies review. I have been granted a review copy by our good friends Josh Adams and Dan Evans. This will be a spoiler-free review. And I want to go ahead and put it out there real up front for anyone who's listening who's not part of the Loot Bros community. Josh is a good friend of mine. Dan is also a good friend of mine. So I just kind of want to put that out there. I love these dudes, and I'm a huge fan of their work. I've been a fan of this work before it was a book, before they put out their ash can. I was a heavy promoter of the ash can as well. So take all of that with a grain of salt. So when I jump into this, I'm going to do my best to look at the work and look past my friends. So here we go. Apollyon 20XX. This is the review. Volume 1, Live Not by Lies. I'm going to start off by reading a synopsis from their Indiegogo page. So here we go. A powerful group of elites known as the Order have manipulated world events for centuries from the shadows. Now, in the near future, the Order has created God, a machine capable of influencing the minds of the world's population. But Zero, the prime candidate for the God Project, has escaped and rallied with him a small band of young, like-minded augments. Together, they will seek to end the Order before God can be completed and the world brought to its knees. So, you guys know here on the Loot Bros podcast, we have had Josh on, we have had Dan on, and we have seen and heard little bits of this story kind of, presented to us. We've been promoting this thing for at least a year, just saying this is coming. GODFOE is coming. The Apollyon 20XX is upon us. And guys, high-level thoughts. Here we go. Unbiased high-level thoughts. It's awesome. It's really, really, really good. Okay. I think that as far as, you guys are getting volume 1 is 175 pages. Like, it is not a 6-page ash can. No hate on the ash cans. Ash cans are great previews for what you're going to get, in the coming future. And this is not like a, 20-page comic or whatever. This isn't something you're going to read in 5 minutes and move on to the next. No, this is a good read. Very well detailed. The characters have time to breathe, and you get to understand a little bit of their backstories and kind of what their motivations are. So I think it's awesome. I think it looks absolutely stunning. I think the art is great. I think that the page layouts are really cool. I cannot wait to get the physical book in my hand. Now, again, I want to go ahead and throw all of my biases out there and all of my attachments to this group out there. I have personally backed this project. So, I have, I'm all in with these guys, okay? I was provided a digital copy to review, and I have read through this thing twice now. Since it was provided to me. As a matter of fact, I've kind of sat on it and marinated on it a lot longer than I maybe should have, and went back and kind of read again. And I'm like, yep, this is cool. This is the foundation of a future in this universe that is going to be stellar. So, again, without breaking into any spoilers, we jump in to the front cover. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of these little images kind of here on the video version of this for all you audio listeners who are going to get this as soon as it's done rendering. Go to the YouTube, go check out the video version. It will be worth it. I might even put it on my personal YouTube channel, Resident Daryl, where I just kind of throw that on there so that just more people can get their eyes on this book, because it's going to be really good. Full color cover, Apollyon 20XX Volume 1, Live Not by Lies. Looks great. A bunch of headshots. You kind of get an idea of your group, a ragtag bunch. I want to liken them to the X-Men a little bit. Some of those older Image 90s groups. Like the Youngbloods and stuff like that. When I look at the group, when I look at them, I'm like, okay, there's something for everybody here. Okay, so they're definitely getting creative with their characters. So obviously, the main character, Zero, is in the very front, one of the God candidates. And then you go through your bunch. And there's some really cool similarities and parallels to other characters we've seen over the decades in and out of comic books. And you can see some of the inspiration. So, art style throughout the book, black and white, but not like a black and white where it's a lot of white and your black is your shadows. Like, there's a lot of black. Like, it sets a tone. It's kind of dark. And the first page, it's a character with like a mask over their head, kind of leaning over, very somber like, and you're getting a lot of internal like dialogue. A lot of what's being told is internally, whether it's conversations for themselves or maybe there's a little bit of conversation from one character in the universe to another. Maybe there's some special powers there. Maybe there's a little bit of X-Men parallels there. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm going to say it's very well done. Very well done. Very well written. I want to put that out there too. A lot of information about the universe trickled out from page to page to page. You get a lot of information about the characters. You learn their motivations. And I think, again, these are my friends, and I think they do good work. But I think they do a really good job of explaining to you, this is who they are. And here is the objective. They all come together. Here's their background. Now, I also want to kind of point out, there's a little bit of Event Horizon inspirations in here. And maybe not necessarily, intentionally, or maybe I'm looking to put that in there. But there's just certain little things, certain pieces of the art that have that. I'll even liken it to like a Dead Space. There's like a look and feel from some of these sci-fi horror properties out there that kind of present themselves in the art. And I think it's very well done. But also, I don't want to be like, oh, this is a big spooky scary book. It's also grabs a lot of tones from anime. Some of the characters have very interesting features. Now, I'm not talking about like your fan servicey features. I mean, like really big eyes, glassy eyes. Like, there's definitely some really cool detail and certain, I don't want to say caricatures, but there's certain characteristics of these characters that are exaggerated. There's one character, one of my favorites actually, project named Farmhand, which I thought was really cool. Character's name's Colt Bryant. He's like a Jax style character, and the art for I say Jax because he's got these giant metal, Imperial metal arms. All these characters are augments, by the way. They have had things done to them with this special metal to augment them, to give them some of their abilities and stuff. And like, I want to liken the art style and influence in this to the game Prototype. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard it. Very symbiote inspired, so a little bit of Venom kind of stuff going on. But with the black and white color palette, lots of shadowing and it looks oozy and looks wet. It's very good. It's very, very well done. But as you go through, you kind of see how these characters all manage to come together. There's another character, actually, I thought was pretty cool, that has a wild-looking tongue. Kind of reminds me of Toad. From the X-Men, but art style is great. And again, like, I want to kind of emphasize some of the anime influence, because when there's certain characters that are exuding their powers, it's almost like for the frames, it's given to you in like a very anime style, where it's like you understand there's power up. This thing is happening. This is about to be massive. There's a big explosion coming. So very, very cool. Some great action sequences. And again, for a black and white book, things look wet. Like the art style, mad props to Josh for adding a layer of texture into a black and white palette to where, it looks very good. Very, very well done. And I want to give a shout out to the lettering in the book, because there's at times some good exposition. Like I don't want to say it's a heavy read, because there's some pages where it's not a heavy read. But what's being said on the page matters, and the lettering, it almost presents itself as like just kind of like a piece of the atmosphere. Like, so much of it kind of fits into place, almost as if the page was laid out around some of the text or with the text in mind. So it's very, very cool. And the difference between a natural conversation between someone and then the internal conversation happening. It's very distinct, and it's very, very well done. So, again, my impressions of this book are it's very well written. It's very well laid out. I think it's going to be the foundation of a great universe moving forward. I would love to sit here, and maybe one day we'll go, when this thing is out and in everybody's hands, we'll go panel by panel. We'll get into the spoilers. We'll get into the minutia as it tells the story of the world leaders and how all of this stuff comes to be, to where these characters are having to band together to take down the powers that be. It's very well done, and there's so much to talk about because there's social and political themes kind of presented to you. There's like this bigger picture of this. It's called The Order. That's about as spooky and ominous as it gets when it comes to a group of political figures and people in power that are manipulating the world. And they want to create this machine that they call God that can rule them all. So the themes of the book are common and yet unexplored, where it seems like these are things we've dabbled with, we've seen in other books, we've seen in other IP, but maybe not necessarily handled so well, or whenever they do try to push this stuff in, it's super on the nose. I feel like the way that they put the themes and the social political stuff in for each character's backstory is pretty well done. So I think you guys did a good job of making me understand who they are. You help me to figure out what their motivations are, and then I care about them, So I think it's cool, and I think that the direction they take with some of them might surprise you guys. So I think it is very, very well done. I think you guys really tackled a huge project, and you did a great job for your first real step forward. So I really like the book. I think it's a must-have, especially if you're looking for something new and fresh in indie comics and you're looking for something that's fun, but yet has that bigger picture, that MCU style, like we're going to do big things and we're going to jump across the place. Not to be as, the rinse and repeated as the MCU is, but like the way these guys have presented their vision, it's great. I'm excited. I'm here for it. And I think you guys should definitely check it out. You should read it. It is very exciting, and I think they did an excellent job. So I highly recommend it. If you have not yet, please go to the Indiegogo, back this book, get involved, grab yourself a digital copy of the Ash Can, get yourself a physical copy of the book while you still can. And I cannot get behind this anymore. It's great. So guys, thank you so much for providing me with this review copy. Again, I want to throw it all out there. I'm really good friends with these guys, and I've been a fan of their work for a long time. And so I'm actually, I think I might go through this book a third time. So really excited for the future. Really excited to see where you guys go with this. And I'm really excited for this to get in everyone's hands. Go check it out. An amazing writer, an amazing artist, two guys that are going to take down the comic industry single-handedly. They are going to make the GODFOE universe the biggest and best thing out there. That is my prediction. Definitely recommend it. Go get yourself some GODFOE. Apollyon 20XX, Live Not By Lies, Volume 1 on Indiegogo. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to check out this review. I hope that it finds you well. I hope that you guys are as into this as I am, and we will catch you on the next one. Remember, stay physical.